Hey, what it do, y'all? Good morning, good Wednesday, hump day morning. It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again, and I'm tired. It's been a rough week, just just living life. But couple of injury updates for the Dallas Cowboys. It's midweek. They're getting ready to play the Eagles, and to say the least, both of these teams are beat the hell up. And we heard Doug Peterson come out, their coach, saying, I'm guaranteeing a win, blah, blah. The funny thing about that is, before I talk about these injuries real quick, um, teams don't respect the Cowboys. They look at our tape and they see our faults and they see our tendencies and the things that we do over and over and over again. It kills me. Now, Mike Fisher made a tweet yesterday basically saying, I don't want to argue with nobody. And, I like Mike Fisher. He's a cool dude. You know, he was like, I don't want to argue with nobody. He basically didn't want nobody to blow back at him for what he was saying and things of that nature. And he was just like, um, Jason Garrett is the coach of this team, offense and defense, but he doesn't call the plays, offense and defense. Dude, we know that. But that doesn't mean his fingerprint is not on this. He's still the coach. You have a rookie offensive coordinator with Kellen Moore being new at doing this. So in his mind, even though Kellen Moore's calling the plays, he's still calling the plays that Jason Garrett is telling him to do. Now, he gives him a little leeway here and there, but when the game's on the line and things of that nature, you can see what's Garrett and what is Kellen. You can clear if you've been watching this team for a minute, you know that, oh yeah, I got my little hand brace on because I pulled a tendon in my wrist. But yeah, so when you see this team and you look at, and you've been watching and you ain't been living under a rock, you already know what's happening. You can clearly see that it's Jason Garrett's footprint on it. Even Tony Romo said it during the game. Like, these former players been sounding off. DeMarcus Ware, T.O., Deion Sanders, all these guys are sounding off, basically saying like it's the same old thing throughout the 10-year. Even Nate Newton, Garrett was his teammate, but he keeps it real. He can't say but so much because he works for the Cowboys media, and I know when you work for the Cowboys, it's certain things you can't say. But we already know what these guys. We know what they think for real. Um, I'm actually glad I don't work for the Cowboys because I could be able to speak my mind and say what I want. But I will say this though. As long as Jason Garrett is the coach of this team, it's not going to change as far as what we do because it's Jason Garrett's philosophy, regardless of the coaches we have on the staff. Now, I could talk about Chris Richard and see, the thing about Chris Richard that kills me too is like, you know, I feel like he's teaching these guys not to look for the ball, not to turn around. Like, when I watch the games, I'm like, why are they not turning around looking for the ball? Now, all the time you don't have to. He wants them to play on the ball. I get that. But what Chris Richard has to realize is the personnel is not the same that you had when you were the coach of the Legion of the Boom. You don't have an Earl Thomas on this team. You don't have a Cam Chancellor on this team. I mean, I guess you could say you got a Bobby Wagner, but because Jalen Smith is a good linebacker. But again, you can't show the same things and do the same things that you were doing before. You can't. It's just it's not the same. So you got to switch things up. You have to be the coach. See, being a good coach is coaching the talent that you have. It's about the talent. If you are, quote unquote, a great coach, you should be able to coach the talent you have, not coach what you had before when you had dynamic players, because every team don't have dynamic players. They always say you can't have a steak on every plate, but that's the narrative there. But I just wanted to talk about that real quick. We always talk about let's fire Garrett, and at some point hopefully that'll happen. But until then, we'll just be in the same rut. And it irritates me because when I see the teams that don't respect us, that sucks. And when you got a team like the Jets that are clearly not as good as you, talking about that you suck. And basically Sam Darnold coming out after the game when they talk about, oh yeah, Dallas does what they do. They look at the tape and they see we do the same things over and over again. Single safety high. Like, it's gotta end. We have to switch things up and get better. Now, to the meat of it. I know you guys heard Tyrone Crawford is done for the year. He's having season-ending hip surgery. He's been dealing with this hip injury since last season. He's been trying to play on it because, again, he's a warrior. You know what I mean? Like, I know some of you guys don't like Tyrone Crawford, but he brings a lot to the table for these Dallas Cowboys. And having him not there and not healthy is a big blow, to be honest with you. Because he's a versatile defensive end. He can play the inside, he can play the 3 technique and the end. But I just look at it like this. You look at Tyrone Crawford and the fact that, he tried. He was active for just 3 games this year. And he tried to go out there the last game, and he told Coach, hey, it's just not the same. It's gotten to a point now where the pain tolerance and just the ability to do things is being hindered. So they just made a decision, hey, just put me on IR, let me get this surgery, and come back next year stronger than ever. Basically, that's where he's at right now. So he's gone for the year, so they're going to have to figure out what they're going to do there. They're going to have to rotate these guys and figure something out. Byron Jones and Anthony Brown both injured hamstrings in the game. Next man up, Jordan Lewis. But Jordan Lewis embodies the term next man up. I don't understand why they don't start Jordan Lewis more. That's my man's. He be in there getting it. And even a little snap that he played, he's getting interceptions and out there just making plays in general. So, there's that factor too. I know those guys will probably be back maybe, but with hamstrings, you can never tell. Randall Cobb, he's dealing with that back injury, back tightness or whatever he's dealing with. He didn't play the last game, but hopefully he'll be back this game. You're without Amari Cooper as well. You kind of need Amari Cooper for these Eagles. I feel like he's an Eagle killer. Amari Cooper, he's random injuries, but the last one is the thigh contusion, the thigh bruise. And, he caught on a slant route in the first series of the game. So that was his issue. Now, you look at going forward, hopefully he can play because we need him. And that goes back to telling me about the rest of these wide receivers like Tavon Austin and Cedric Wilson. These guys can play. You just got to give them the opportunity. You see Tavon Austin was out there making plays. Just play them. Even use them when you have your top guys in the game. Because if you use them more, you can actually confuse defenses. Because whenever Tavon Austin comes in the game, when everybody is full, when everybody is playing, they know what we're going to run. So if you use him regularly, they don't know what you're going to do. That's just common sense. But, that's neither here nor there. Who am I? I'm a nobody. But either way, then you look at our offensive linemen, Tyron Smith and Lyle Collins. They both, are day-to-day at this point. It looks better now because time has elapsed. I think that these guys should be able to come back next week, hopefully. I know Tyron Smith, they tried to pregame. He tried to, test that ankle and see but it just still wasn't right. So they just made a decision to keep him out another game. But hopefully they can get him in next game because we definitely need these guys because Dak got toe up last game. He got hit so hard, but Dak is a warrior, and Dak got up and kept doing what he needed to do. And that's the type of quarterback that you need in your team. Dorrance Armstrong, neck stinger. That's crucial, too, because without Tyrone Crawford here, you need Dorrance Armstrong. You need these guys. They got rid of Taco. They gave up on Taco. Now Taco is beasting in the Dolphins, and he's the starter for them, and he's leading them in sacks right now. Interesting. So, hey, it is what it is. But, that's neither here nor there. Cowboys make mistakes. It makes me think that maybe you should have got Juan Thornhill in the draft like I asked you to do because you don't play Tristan Hill like you're supposed to, but you're going to have to now. But that's all I got for right now, guys. I'll probably do a video later on. I need to get a live stream in to get you guys engaged. I need to talk to you guys. So with that being said, it's your boy E2 Blue, always keeping it real. Talk to y'all soon. Y'all have a great day.